Hi, I'm Rob from GOB Retail, and I'm giving you what's cool this week in comics. What have you got there, my faceless friend?
Well, for me it has become opposite day, so we're wearing this backwards.
Oh.
Because I found a Superman story that isn't awful.
Oh.
It's actually incredibly interesting. This is Batman Superman Volume 5 from the New 52 run.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the premise of the main story in here is that Batman gains all of Superman's powers and Superman loses his powers.
Oh, okay.
It's really interesting because we finally see what would happen if Batman actually had superhuman abilities, like outside of the ones that he clearly does.
Right.
But right away, it starts really affecting him. Like, he finally has the ability to help everyone, to save everyone, and it triggers all of his neuroses.
Oh, great.
And he goes hog wild on Gotham.
Fantastic.
It even involves him punching clearly through Bane.
That seems violent.
It's extremely violent.
Yeah,
but it's interesting because you also get to see Superman kind of also getting what he wants in a way, and that he finally gets a normal life.
No, that's true. I mean, he's just some boy from Kansas.
Right,
so.
exactly.
Yeah.
So outside of that, it's a really interesting read. It's finally something that made me look at Superman and not just be like, ugh.
Yeah, you have, Superman is your kryptonite, I would say.
Ugh.
It's, you know.
Congratulations, you've ruined it for me.
That's my job. All right, well, now we're diving down the Marvel rabbit hole. Yeah.
Great.
Well, first up we have Elektra #1. This is a new series by Marvel. It has an interesting start. It wasn't the most gripping start that I've seen, but it was interesting, and I'm kind of interested to see where it'll go. I like the art. The character that looks like he's from A Clockwork Orange. That was unique.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah, and there's a lot of sort of hints dropped as to what might be happening in the future. We have a villain that's obsessed with both gambling and hunting human beings. Elektra defending the lives of innocents, as you'd come to expect.
Fair enough.
And also mentions of Doctor Strange. This villain seems to...
That's very odd.
Yeah, I'm not sure...
Well, one thing I'll say about the book is it did really well is their actual portrayal of Elektra, like how she looks.
Her design is
really
spot on.
strong.
Yeah, I think she has a really strong design, and the writing for her actually isn't bad at all. Some of the tertiary characters surrounding her in this first volume weren't my favorite, but the villain is interesting, and that's going to be more of a centerpiece going forward.
And the first issue really didn't give you very much.
Yes. Yeah, they didn't, but that's also not that uncommon. They're trying to set the scene and kind of the universe, and there's a lot they have to cram in there in the pages they get. So,
nevertheless, this is one of the first Marvel titles in a long time where I'd said, yeah, I'll read #2.
Yeah, exactly. So, worth giving a look. Deadpool and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or Spider-Man and Deadpool, you know, depending on who insists on being first.
I think Deadpool would definitely insist on Spider-Man being first.
I agree with that. So, Spider-Man, one of the few people that's on Deadpool's list of...
It's really it's a book that asks, how long can we beat this dead horse?
It really is. You know, the miniseries was good. I really enjoyed it. Both the characters are fun. It turns out that they can keep beating it for at least one more issue.
Yeah, because it still was good.
Yeah, it's still fun. Peter Parker is exploring, you know, he's always had a don't kill anyone for any reason, and that's difficult with this new villain.
Which, Itsy Bitsy.
Yeah, combines powers of both Deadpool and Spider-Man, and is equally thrashing them both.
And we will find out in this issue where she came from.
Yes.
And why she's here. Mm-hmm. And yeah, this issue really kind of is the battle for Peter's soul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because once he crosses that line, you know, it's kind of the same thing that Batman deals with in DC. Once that line is crossed, you can't go back.
Can't go back. And, you know, it's funny because... Deadpool being the voice of reason and morality.
Convince him not to kill.
Yeah, that's unique and different.
And his whole thing is like, dude, this is the reason you're my hero.
That's true. That's
so you
true.
get it all done without killing anyone.
Yeah, he basically almost says you do it better than I do, in the way that Deadpool says that. You know, yeah, this is still a fun series, and if you haven't picked it up yet, this is as good a time as any to jump into it because they're just about to hit the climax of the storyline. So give it a look. And we're jumping into the future as we go to DC with Batman Beyond, #5.
Oh, yeah.
End of the first arc. We have Terry McGinnis suiting up in a new Super Batman suit.
It's so cool.
Saving... Should we say who he's saving? Keep that for spoilers.
Keep that a secret.
All right.
The overarching premise of this has been the return of the Joker.
Yes.
And really, I don't want to say a ton more. Like this issue had a
yeah.
couple of big reveals.
Yes, I would definitely say if you can still get #1 and start on the series, this is the culmination of an arc. It's definitely worth it to go through the whole thing. But even if this is where you're jumping in, it's still worth it because it sets up the next arc, and it's going to be a bit of a doozy.
And he does kind of repeat what his plan is. So even if you're just getting on now, you'll be able to figure out what's going on.
It's really not that hard to jump on. And you get to see Terry in his new suit, and he's really grown into the role. I mean, the whole premise of this series in general is that Terry's kind of been out of the Batman suit for a while and is coming back. So this is an older Terry, if you ever watched the cartoon, and he's dealing with a lot of the stuff Bruce used to deal with, but in a different way.
Yep.
So definitely give it a look. I mean, Batman and the Joker, whether it's Terry or Bruce, is always a great matchup.
Yep.
So last up today, I've got Teen Titans by DC.
Oh, good.
This is your favorite because they've taken Starfire. They've gotten rid of a personal series.
Why? Why do you say things that hurt me?
They've aged her down. Maybe.
Have they?
Yeah, it's little kind of.
I don't know about that.
She does look older than literally everybody else. Damian's in charge. When I first grabbed the series, I wasn't really thrilled with the writing. I got off until book 5, and I jumped. Well, I took a read of this today, and I have to say, it's actually pretty good.
Really?
Yeah. Damian's fighting against Ra's al Ghul.
No. I saw the 90s show. It's pronounced Ra's al Ghul.
There's no H there. Where would that come from? Is the apostrophe? Well, okay. We'll let him. We're going to give him a pass. And since Kevin Conroy doesn't return my letters anymore, I'm just going to blame him.
Did he used to?
No.
Oh.
Anyway, it's definitely worth giving a look because the new Teen Titans is kind of interesting. I know you really like what they've done with Raven in her own series and in this.
She's way more interesting.
Yeah. She's less moody. Robin is more so. And it's all about dealing with, we get to see Damian actually at his best, manipulating people. We get to see Beast Boy having some great comedy moments.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Kid Flash is in it too. And he's strong. He and Beast Boy kind of form a team in a strong way. So it's definitely a book worth reading and jumping in. I was happy just jumping in now, but I might go give some of the previous books a look just because it's ended with a bang, this current arc, and it's setting up strong to jump into the next one. And that's going to be it this week in comics. So I'm Rob, and I'll see you next time.